Alright, what I'm doing here is shooting one of the very first videos on this new camera, so excuse me if I don't know what I'm doing with it. Basically a spindle shaft out of a self-bend lathe. Don't know the vintage, don't know anything about it. I got a headstock, was basically junk, but it had the spindle. I have an old Seneca Falls lathe from the late 1800s, and someone converted it to a wood lathe and had a solid shaft in there for the spindle, so I could never use it. So measurements and research, I figured this one would work, and it basically is perfect except for, of course, bearing sizes. So I got this bushing, it'll fit the main bearing, but it's a little tight. I need about half a thousandths removed so it'll fit. So I'm just polishing the shaft here. It's going to take a while. Could machine it, but I want the surface mirror smooth, so I'm just taking my time. And so this old converted wood lathe, I basically converted it to just a nice big chuck on there so I could chuck things up and just use it, sand and polish and clean it up. Doesn't have any, anything to turn with, but it's great so you don't abuse your lathe when you just sand and polish, and keeps all the sand dust off your good lathe. So this works pretty good. It's variable speed, so you can dial it up just using 220 grit wet dry sandpaper, cheap rubber gloves, so if they do get caught they just rip off your hands. Nice and safe to use. And I'm just gonna polish this like a mirror, and like I say, probably half a thousandth. When I measure it, the parts of the bushing and the shaft is the exact same measurement, as good as I can measure it. I don't have a great ID mic, so I'm figuring half a thousandths will give me the clearance I need. I want to basically get a good clearance so if when the shaft heats up it doesn't get too tight with the bushing. So, play by ear. I'm going to have to adjust in the future. I'm going to go nice and tight. But if it does start binding up in the future after use, I can just do this again. So I'll leave you off now because this will be a couple minutes of just me stroking my shaft, as they say. You have a good day now. Talk to you later. Okay, we're getting to the final step now. I'm going to do some final polishing, and we should be able to fit the first bushing. This is going to be a two-piece bushing because they couldn't get the exact size. They could have ordered it, but I had to buy like a 12-inch section. It was going to be like $100. So I'm doing a two-piece bushing. I'm going to fit this bushing to the shaft, then I'm going to machine the outside bushing for like a press fit. Press them together, Loctite them. That's possible with bronze bushings, I'm not sure, but I'll pin it, and then I just have to machine the outer bushing bit here. I just want to get a final polish on this. And hopefully this will work. This is like a second part of the shoot here, so basically this is an old converted wood lathe, and I put a big metal chuck on, 3-jaw, and basically just use it for sanding and polishing. Comes in handy because you don't have to worry about sandpaper dusting on your bedways. Good variable speed, it's nice and balanced, small, you can carry it around, you can move it area to area. This spindle is off a self-bend lathe. Don't know even a year, anything about it. I got basically $30 for a headstock. That was basically stripped, but had the shaft in there. That's all I needed anyways. It's a 9-inch self-bend. It's going into a Seneca Falls lathe from the early 1800s. It's a 10-inch. could even be close to 11-inch. I haven't measured exactly, but I know it's bigger than 9 because I measured this one compared to my headstock when it was off the lathe. So the Seneca Falls was original bronze bearings, and whoever owned it before me back in the 50s, I was told, converted to a wood lathe. So it's hasn't turned metal in 70 years or so, and they think it might have been way longer before then. It was typical son, father, grandfather, passed it down scenario, so no one knew much about it. But I restored the rest of the lathe. I got working, feed works, everything works fine. I cut, I'm using an old wood lathe chuck. I did cut on it, but it was a joke. So I know it works, so that's why I was trying to find the correct headstock for it, but I found a few, but they wanted way too much money for them. And, shipping eBay, you don't know what shape it's in, if it needs any parts, and you're screwed in, you're back to the beginning. Most of them had gears with teeth missing or broken, so I was going to spend $400 or $500 on something that needed work, where I could spend $100 on parts and make something work. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to turn. Let's see where we are here. This is the bushing I'm using. Yeah, that's perfect. Nice tight fit. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'll see if I can bring you over to my pile of bushings. Yeah. This is the bushing that's going to be machined to fit. So I basically bored that out so I can press that in there. And this bushing fits the cap on the lathe perfectly, so I don't have to do anything to the outside. That's why I got this one. It was perfect outside diameter. I couldn't find one with the perfect inside diameter, so I didn't care. And I machined these two pulleys already because I had these laying around. And I wanted one bigger one, so I still have to machine this out to like 34.8 millimeters. So these are going to go basically step pulleys on the inside. And I'll cut another keyway so the the set screw locks them in. So I was going to go flat out route, but I wasn't happy with what was out there that I could find. I already machined the feed gear. It's going to go in this way. And this has been brazed, resized, but it fits and it works amazingly. So yeah, this is the original bushing off the Seneca Falls lathe, and it was just too sloppy. So at first I was gonna just machine that, but I wasn't sure if I could bore that out, and the stick out is too much for what I want. I have thrust bearings I want to use. I got perfect size thrust bearings. That's perfect. So I wanted to use thrust bearings, so I got those. So we'll see how it works, but next is machine this, and we'll get back to that video hopefully. If I can figure out this camera to upload it and edit it, you might see that. Have a good day now.